Hi, and welcome to today's video. And today we are going to talk about the pros and the cons of hiring a marketing agency and what you as a new coach or a coach who haven't really figured out how to create a sustainable business just yet should do, and what you should focus on starting off this journey when it comes to marketing, because marketing is everything, right? You can have the best possible product or service in the world, but if no one knows about it, well, hey, what's the point? So my name is Frida, and over the next 5 to 10 minutes, I'm going to show you the pros and the cons of hiring a marketing agency within your coaching business. And I've been a marketing agency owner for over 2 years, and it was very difficult for me to actually do this video because it kind of contradicts what I've been doing for a long time. But when I was running my agency, I helped other coaches and my own coaching company to generate closer to $5 million in about 18 months. And I know what it takes to actually, start over, from beginning, and what you should do then. And then when you are in a different position, when you can actually scale, that's a completely different question. And I was working with top coaches in the mindset industry, and I was helping them to scale. As I said, let's just get started and join in with me for the next 5 minutes. And I'm going to show you everything that you need to know with the pros and cons of having a marketing agency. Okay, cool. So let's start off with the pros of having a marketing agency. So the first thing that I would say is a pro when hiring a marketing agency, it's that you don't have to have the knowledge yourself. Because, marketing is quite difficult. It's a lot to learn. And if you've been to all of these different, platforms and everything, just setting up your profile on the different places can be like a struggle. And you don't know where to press, you don't know how to get followers, you don't know how to connect with people, how to find people, how to create content, what is possible. And you do have to put in time. You do have to put in time and effort. So if you're hiring a marketing agency, well, you do not have to have the knowledge yourself. You just kind of go ahead and say, hey, this is me, this is my business, this is the outcome that I would like to have, this is my budget for doing that. And then you talk to someone who's either working with paid traffic, which means basically advertising, or you work with someone who is doing organic marketing, which is a little bit different. You don't do advertising, but you just kind of structure your posting and your content in a way that attracts more followers, more engagement, more out of everything. So that's the great thing about having a marketing agency. You do not have to have the knowledge yourself, and you can kind of, release that. The second thing is, of course, that you can focus on what you do best. So you became a coach. Either if you're just a coach by having an experience in something, maybe you've gone through a journey yourself, or if you actually are a licensed coach, which has gone through like some sort of education to get where you are, and you are licensed to, for example, sell someone else's courses, maybe like Jack Canfield or Tony Robbins or Bob Proctor, and you became a coach because you love to help people in that specific with that specific thing, and that's what you do best. Maybe marketing isn't what you do best, and it's not what you want to become the best at. So basically you get more time to just kind of be better at what you already are doing. So that's a huge pro with having a marketing agency come in, because you don't have to care. You just go ahead and you do what they tell you to do, and they tell you, okay, I need this piece of content, this piece of content, and this piece of content, and you deliver that to them, and then they kind of structure it and make sure that it reaches the right target audience. So that's definitely a huge pro when coming to hiring a marketing agency. And the third one, you can get more advanced strategies running if you're in a time period where you need to scale. So for example, when I was running my marketing agency, I had coaches around the globe, and basically all different continents, and they were in a position where they kind of had a sustainable business, but it was just at a point where they were kind of stuck, most of them. So maybe they had X amount of high ticket clients every month, but they wanted to scale that. So then we could put in some more advanced strategies. They had less time because they already had coaching clients. So they already put in a lot of time to be there and to help their coaching clients, but they had a little bit more money because their business was sustainable and they were, having a continuous revenue in their business. So what we wanted to do when we had that difference, when we had that equation, we put in some more advanced strategies to automate every single process in the client journey. So they only had to go in, do the sales calls, and then close the clients and then get them into their program, and they can continue doing what they did best, which was coaching. So that's a great pro when you are in a scaling process, because even if you learn how to do marketing, there's so much to marketing, especially like if you think about your coaching business, you can learn how to coach, but then after a few years, you will get so much experience. You can talk to anyone with any kind of problem within that field and you can help them. But maybe the first day you don't know how to do that. So that's kind of something that grows with experience and how you can do that. So if you have a sustainable business, you have less time and more money, I will definitely go ahead and say this is a huge pro to go ahead and hire a marketing agency who kind of runs that flow for you. And then we have the cons of running or hiring a marketing agency. And the first con that I see, and the biggest mistake that I see a lot of coaches are doing out there, is that they hire an agency before they know their processes and client journey. So basically, you go ahead, you become a licensed coach or become a coach, and you go ahead and say, okay, well, now I'm going to hire someone to do this because I want to do what I do best. So let's hire someone who's great at marketing. And they don't know their client journey. First of all, you don't know how to attract the clients. You normally don't have a target audience when you're new, because building out your client avatar is something that very few people do. I don't know why. And then you don't even know who you're targeting. You haven't tested out your content in an organic way. And advertising or doing paid traffic, it's organic content with money on. So it's nothing else than that. If you don't know if your organic marketing is working, like equals getting engagement, equals actually converting, equals, getting followers and, resonating with people. If you just put money on it, it doesn't mean it's going to work. So you do have to know your process and you do have to know your client journey in order to also give that to a marketing agency. You know your business the best. You know everything about your business. And even though you have a marketing agency who is, specifically working with your niche, it's still your business. It's still your clients. It's still the journey that you would like for them to have. So I would say a huge con with hiring a marketing agency too soon is that you don't know your processes. And what happens then takes me to the second one. And that is the second con about it is when you don't know your processes and you don't know your client journey, you leave the control of your business in other people's hands. And you want to be able to control your business. Like you wouldn't go ahead and, talk to, well, now he's not alive anymore, but Ingvar Kamprad, who started IKEA. So when he started IKEA, he didn't start off with giving the business to someone else and kind of say, hey, go ahead and run that for me. He knew who his suppliers was. He knew who his staff was. He knew how he wanted to run the business. He knew what he wanted for the clients and what the customer should experience when coming into an IKEA store. You don't want to hand that over too soon, because if you do, what's going to happen then is that, let's say that things are not going as you want to, the results are not there. You don't know why. And maybe the marketing agency don't know why either, because you know your business right. And you don't know how to fix it. So that's also a way of, checking the different key points or indicators in your business to kind of see where the problem is. And a big con is that you just completely leave that to someone else, and then you sit there and you hope, and that's not going to be a sustainable business for you. And the third one we're going to look into, that if you're new, your margins will be sliced significantly. Basically, when you're a coach, so it depends on what kind of coaching program you are selling. Maybe you're selling something on subscription. Maybe you're selling like one-time fee, high ticket program, which my clients were doing. They were selling for about $6,500 to $12,000 per client. So it was a high ticket program. And depending on what your business is and what coaching you're actually selling, then your margins is going to be sliced significantly. Because if you're brand new, you don't know your processes just yet, you don't know what type of content that's working, you don't know who your ideal client is, you might not have too many testimonials to actually show the proof of concept, and maybe not so high closing rate, because that's a start for everyone, you know, not everyone comes in and have 50% closing rate. Then you're going to put money into that, both for the advertising. And today we are in March 2022, marketing is more expensive than ever. It's like the competition is extremely high out there because of the pandemic. Now everyone is here. The competition is extremely high. So the marketing cost has actually gone through the roof, and it's a lot more, you know, hard to kind of find that. Even if you have your ideal client, it's harder to find them. So let's say that you're selling something for a high ticket. Let's say you're going for $2,000. But what if you spend $1,500 to get there? You know, it's just a $500 margin. Like, and then you have to pay also a marketing agency to get you to that point. You're still doing a profit, but I mean, who want to go ahead and, you know, coach for 3 months or coach for 6 months or however long it is for $500? It's not going to be a great business. Then you have to have a huge volume, and it's not going to be that in the beginning. So I would say the outcome of this, the pros and the cons of actually hiring a marketing agency, I think that it's great when you are in a position where you want to scale, when you know your clients, you know, journey, you know your processes inside out, and you also know what your closing rate is. So the closing rate for you is going to be different if it's a warm traffic, like, for example, it's someone you know, or you get recommended by one of your other clients, they refer someone to you. Your closing rate there is going to be higher than if you go on cold traffic. And cold traffic meaning, for example, advertising. You want to know what your closing rate is before you actually go ahead and do paid marketing. If you have 10% closing rate, well, it's going to take you 10 calls to actually sell one thing. Let's say you're selling for $2,000 and each appointment costs you, for example, each appointment costs you $100, which is actually not too bad. It can cost you $200 because maybe you have some no-shows. Then it means that you're, you know, plus minus zero when you actually get that sale. So that's something that you want to have. So it's great when you're in a position where you have sustainability, you know your processes, and you're ready to scale. If you're not, if you're new or you're struggling to get the sustainability, you're struggling to get the consistent business in there, go ahead and do a lot from your own. So I have another video in here as well, where you can start off with setting up. In this channel, you're going to find a lot more about organic marketing, about how to actually attract those clients, and how to basically do very easy marketing for the coaching industry. So go ahead and check those out, because there's so much things that you can do with your time. And organic marketing can be super duper effective, or it can be super duper ineffective. And you definitely want to make sure that you are on the right side of that. Go ahead and create something that actually works for you in the long run, that actually gives you those great margins, that makes you motivated to keep going, that makes you motivated to do more, that makes you motivated to, you know, give more value and help more people. because that's what it's all about at the end. With that said, let me know what you thought about this video in the comment section. And if you have any more pros or if you have any more cons with running a marketing agency, let me know. Otherwise, please hit subscribe. We'd be super grateful, and you can click that little notification. Also, let me know what you want to see in this channel. Like, what are you wondering about? Is it how to run a successful masterclass, or do you want to know more about organic marketing, or my specialty? I'm just going to say it out there. But what I really, really like is to create automated systems. So how to make systems work for you, but without being so expensive. With that said, thank you so much for today. See you in the next video. Let me know if you liked it, hit a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time.